shared in helping build an entrepreneurial ecosystem in our region. Several new things even for me, that I got to know. I have made points and hopefully will apply it to our region. I will first start off with a small video just to set a context.
Told you, there was a place that lets you escape the daily grind of everyday life. Smog, stress, and a race to nowhere. Now imagine a 15-minute city of green and blue, where local meets global and the sea meets the sky. Welcome to the Silicon Beach of India, where technology and tranquility harmonize. We are the talent hub of the country with a next-gen way of life. We sweat hard, but we also work smart. Experience a city where the future is now. A city that is smart, premium yet affordable, and breathes clean air. Yes, this is why you think big, create better, and grow faster. From IT to healthcare, from education to industry, the diversity drives us forward. Silicon Beach of India, where life and work blend in perfect harmony. What if I told you there was a place?
Yeah, I think in a nutshell, that is what we are trying to build for our region. First of all, before I start my presentation, where I go in a little bit more depth into what the Silicon Beach program is about, what the whole idea about Silicon Beach is about. Thank you, Anand, for inviting me today for this call. Thanks KCCI, every one of you have been wonderful hosts, and I think KCCI as an institution has always been the torch bearer of commerce in our region, and it's such a privilege to be speaking here. So let me talk about the story. What is the story? What is the Silicon Beach? What is the opportunity? And what is there in front of us? Okay. So the trigger. What's the trigger? For this. We call this as a decade, the tech decade. The short form of that is a decade. Okay. So India's tech services export will almost treble to $500 billion in the next 10 years. Our workforce is also going to double from I think around 5.6 million to around approximately 12 million plus. And if we consider even 1/3 of this work going to upcoming hubs, right, tier 2 towns in India, then I think there's going to be a creation of 2 million jobs in these hubs. And when we are talking about IT, right now in India, IT is all, I think around 95% of IT happens in large metros, 7-8 metros is where most of the IT happens. But now they emerge, they have identified another 25 emerging hubs. Okay, all these smaller cities which are vying, or we are vying for a piece of that action. Okay, many of them are there. NASSCOM and Deloitte report identified these emerging hubs. Mangaluru is one of them, and I think it's a great opportunity for these cities to come towards come up with a IT IT related growth. Okay. And why now? Why is this happening? Okay, the picture tells you some things, but I think the primary hubs are maxing out, right? There is so much of growth in these primary hubs. It is becoming more difficult for them to cope up traffic, pollution, so many issues that are there. And companies are realizing that that optimizing that they need to move to other cities, because it's maxing out. There is a difficulty for people with work life balance. Cost of living is growing more and more, so they are trying to figure out what do we do next. And luckily for all these cities, government policies are also incentivizing such a move. For example, in Karnataka government there is a policy incentive called Beyond Mangaluru, where they are trying to take the IT initiatives away from Bangalore. All the new incentives are only applicable to the cities outside Bangalore, because Bangalore already has a very fantastic ecosystem for startups and industries. Okay. And the fourth thing is, can we focus on sustainable growth, which is the need of the hour. So 100% carbon neutrality might give our region an edge. Okay. So in a way, I would say that the race is on now. There are 25 emerging hubs. The race is on, which can be the next big hub, because 2 million jobs. Okay, if you divide them equally, I think roughly 100,000 jobs can be created in all these hubs. But those hubs which show more intent to progress probably might get 300,000 jobs, 400,000 jobs of IT in that region. Okay, can our region be in the top 5? Okay, that's our aim. Can we be the top 5 in the next 10 years? That's what the Silicon Beach program about. It's about building the entire ecosystem. Okay, that's conducive for this. Now the Silicon Beach is anchored by 3 key pillars. Okay, it's about designing a vision for the region, which is about building the future, like I said, while preserving our culture without destroying our nature. Because you see the beautiful picture in the background, we are blessed with such great natural ecosystem. So how do we grow, how do we build an industry while ensuring that we don't lose our nature and we preserve our culture? Okay, and the first pillar, which I was going to talk about a little bit more, okay, it's about building the future. Okay, so SBB, Silicon Beach program, is a program that helps grow, structure and build local IT resources, talent, infrastructures into world-class services, so that firms from outside this region can come here and utilize them and grow quickly. So this whole program is designed in such a way that if a company wants to come from outside region to Mangalore, okay, we help them with all the resources. We'll tell them what are the resources available here, which are the best places to for them to reside, everything. We are going to make sure that we provide them a lot of these assistance. Okay, so that getting to a new place is easier for them. Okay, why start with Mangalore? Okay, Mangalore is a world-class city with world-class amenities. I think we all know about it: international airport, high-quality education, premium residential facilities, okay, malls, premium restaurants, world-class hospitals, and tourism hotspot. Identifies as one of the 50 top best cities in the world to live in. Okay, and even if you look at the IT part of it and non-IT part of it, first in literacy rate in the state, second per capita income within the state, second per capita GDP, third human development index, and it already has 225 technology companies, and with employing over 20k employees and exporting 5,000 crores of revenue from our region. Okay, these are some of the facts. When we tell in the industry, nobody can imagine that in Mangalore there is a 5,000 crores of revenue that is being generated from this region. And some of these large companies that are listed here, we have Infosys, we have got amongst the named companies, Infosys is there, Cognizant is there, Tech Mahindra is there. So and more companies are coming every month now. Okay, but we are always known as the talent capital of the region or in the country. Okay, why? 25 plus engineering colleges generating roughly 10,000 STEM engineers, maybe another 5,000 non-STEM engineers. I think 40,000 graduates per year from 150 graduation colleges, 15 plus technology incubator, we have these incubator and accelerator programs here, and 225 tech companies, and there are 8 companies already which are employing 1000 plus people in this region, okay, and generating again, like I said, $500 million in revenue. Okay, so the immediate benefits is, in any tier 2 town that they offer, is world class quality at 20 to 25% cost benefits, right. So that is because when we stress on this world class quality, because there have been innumerable companies that have started from here which have built world class products, and they have been able to do that successfully without really compromising on the quality aspects of it. So it is a good option for companies, and a lot of companies understand this. So when we go and pitch our region at events outside our state or outside our city, we tell them, look, don't look at it as a cost saving, because cost saving ultimately results in it's a revenue earned. It's when you wipe out your cost, when your cost reduces, it is a direct impact on the profit. Okay, that's what our region gives. Local benefits, massive talent pool, okay, world class standard of living, cost advantage, and one of the major things that gives us the cost advantage is the low attrition that is there in our region. Every company that is in Mangalore says this, that the attrition in Mangalore is one of the least that they have. I have seen this myself, when I was running Robosoft. We had offices in Udupi, we had it in Bangalore, in Bombay. Our attrition was in always 1/4 or 1/5 of our Bangalore office. Okay, if our attrition was 5% here, our Bangalore office was 30 to 35%. Okay, that's the kind of attrition that was there. So companies which are looking to set up R&D hubs and all, where they require the talent to stay around, okay, these are great places to build your R&D labs, because people make a lifestyle choice of coming and staying here. Great people wanting to work on some problem that they can persist on longer. So like I said, when you say cost is saved, okay, there is a 4 to 6% improvement in EBITDA running their businesses out of Mangalore. We have something even more interesting here. Okay, we have a higher happiness index. Okay, we like to call as Mangalore as a 15-minute city. Okay, what is this 15-minute city? You can get from anywhere to anywhere in 15 minutes. Okay, compare this to anything else, any other larger city. It's it varies, and depending on which city it is, it varies. But in Mangalore, it's a smaller place, and right now, this is a 15-minute city for us. So 15 or 20 minutes to go to the airport, 15 minutes from one end to the other end, and so we like to call it as a 15-minute city. Okay, so we thought of this because we heard in Paris they are trying to remodel Paris to be a 15-minute city. Okay, and we were at a conference, and then we said, look, we are already a 15-minute city. Okay, so Paris is trying to be that, we are already a 15-minute city. So I think it's a great thing for us to talk about, and in this time when people get stuck in traffic for hours together, I think we are a welcome break. And attrition is lower. People ask this to us, why is attrition low in Mangalore? It's because uncongested and clean cities, surf capital of India, world class housing, blue flag beach, state of the art business center. We have got everything. Okay, so we have got everything that a IT company wants to do to come into this region. Plus we have got a great way of living as well. Now, how will the IT ecosystem grow? Okay, so there are different things that can power an IT ecosystem, and we believe that the future growth comes from 3 different aspects. One is the growth of startups. Okay, and for ease of understanding, startups is any company that is between 1 to 1,000 people. Okay, second thing is satellite companies, and the third is large companies. Okay, and I think everyone understands startups and large companies. Let me clarify what is a satellite company. Okay, satellite companies companies are those companies established by a senior person in a large company. Okay, recently Bose Engineering worked there, opened their office in Mangalore. Okay, and out of nowhere, we saw a post on LinkedIn where he said, I am hearing so much about this conversation on Silicon Beach, I have decided to go back to Mangalore and open a engineering center. So this is a Bose headphones, we know about the audio company, right? So they are in Mangalore now. Recently in Technovanza, we felicitated them. Okay, it is like, so as we talk about it, there is a great opportunity for us as a region to attract our diaspora. Okay, we recently attracted one startup from US. They were a good, well-funded startup in US, but the founder is from Udupi. Okay, he said, I have to do something there. I know tech talent is very good there. He said, he is going to come. So in December 1st, he is going to operate. It's a fintech company servicing the US market, but their engineering center will be built here because one of them decided to shift back and build the centers here. Recently, we have an example of a company, Danish company, madam. They acquired a company in Mangalore. Okay, I think around 20 or 30 people company. Now they are at 500 plus people, all within 18 months. And they are so happy. They are saying that, look, talent out here is fantastic. Okay, we are able to grow quickly, and they are actually showing it by growing. Okay, so I think multiple examples, of this happening. So I think, satellite offices cannot just be started by, one person deciding that I want to go back. You have got multiple examples. At least 15-20 companies are there in Mangalore, where one person decides in a large company to go back to the region and build a center here, and that is the large companies. Okay, so let me just cover the startup ecosystem right now. This is the current state of our startup ecosystem. We have got 15 incubators in our region, and this what I have marked on the horizontal scale is the different stages of a company's life cycle. You need to get an inspiration to initially start a company, then you need an idea. Okay, then you take that idea to a POC. Okay, then POC to a minimum viable product, a product market fit, subscale and growth. Okay, these are the different life cycles of a startup. Okay, right now in our region we have got multiple incubation centers. Okay, I think there are 15 plus incubation centers at various colleges in our region, and post that there is not much of structured support within the ecosystem. Okay, after that it is the Series A, and a lot of companies fall through in that gap. Okay, a few companies are able to either reach the Series A stage, either through funding or organically. Okay, we can change that as an ecosystem, and this is what we are trying to do with TIE. Okay, recently we started TIE chapter in our region. TIE is it's one of the largest entrepreneurship development organization which has chapters in 65 plus cities across the world. Okay, the beauty of the TIE program is they have created a template for every stage of a company's growth. Okay, and we are studying it, and we realized that these guys have created great material, great structures. Why not just take that structure and adapt it for Mangalore? Okay, and we have been doing that now for the last 18 months at TIE. This has been what we have been doing it, because we identified those gaps, and we started something called as a TIE galvanizer. So we heard from several faculties that one of the problem that they face is the students they don't know what to start, because most of the colleges the priority is more on placement, not so much on entrepreneurship. Okay, so we need to get people also inspired. It's about inspiring students to become entrepreneurs. Okay, so we are now test launched this with one college, because we are a young chapter and we want to make sure that we perfect this program. So we recently tied up with Alva's institute, and we have taken this with with them. So as part of this program we offer them sessions from our industry leaders out here on industry, what kind of technologies are available in the industry. They are teaching 20 hours of courseware, we arrange industrial visits for them, we arrange 1 month internship, 101 month internship program, 3-month internship program. So as a local technology industry, we said okay, we will offer all these things and see how that exposure will help the students in this institute probably get better exposure and understanding of the local startup scene, okay, and probably if out of 500 people, if you are able to impact 50 people, we would have made a great start, okay. And if we do a good job in this one college, next year we want to take it to 2 colleges, okay, maybe in the 3rd year we will take it to 4 colleges. So we want to start small and see how this works. So far it's I think 6 months down the line, I think we have made some good progress with this. The second program, which is acceleration, okay. So I will just go to the previous slide. This is the gap we identified and this is how we are solving it. The second program is called as acceleration. We have got a lot of incubators here, but what happens is after the incubation program, once they have a POC, how do they go to the next stage? There is no structured program that is in our region. So we said TIE has something called as a nurture, which is an accelerator. Whoever has a POC, how do they make their first sale? How do we help them with mentorship? How do we help them with early growth? So all those things are taught in a well structured manner in the nurture accelerator. So we finished our first nurture accelerator recently. 3 companies in our region participated. One of the company recently said after 2 months, it's a milk company. They were selling 400 liters of A2 milk. Okay, after going through this program without spending any money, just based on the inputs that he got during the program, he is able to double his sales. Okay, he is now selling 800 liters of milk, and he is saying now I have a target to sell 4000 liters of A2 milk. For all those who don't know, A2 milk is a more premium milk which is sold as almost twice the price of a Nandini milk. So it is that people are there to consume it, and he figured out a way in this program to reach out to a larger audience without necessarily spending money on social media marketing and all. That's because this program is run by industry itself. TIE is nothing but a group of entrepreneurs who have gotten together, who have built large companies in the past in the local region, and who is trying to help the upcoming entrepreneurs. More interest, and he said, look, I can take slightly more because I can accelerate faster. But so the idea of angel program is to support those companies not just with money but also little bit of mentorship, and we are trying to build that. We are trying to work with the Karnataka government to put together a micro VC, a cluster seed fund, which is a seed fund only for the Karnataka region, and this is a unique scheme where half the capital will be provided by the Karnataka government, half the capital will be provided by the local HNIs. Okay, so they said, look, we want to do this, can you guys help us? So it's likely to be announced during next week's Mangaluru Technology Summit, and probably post that we will reach out to people in the audience whether they want to be a part of this. Again, this cluster seed fund gives a larger check size, anywhere from 1 to 2 crores is the check size for it. Angel funding is a smaller check size, and then within incubation program and all, there are multiple grants like madam already highlighted. I think together with all these things, we should be able to take entrepreneurs in a structured manner through the TIE program. And I am sure there are other programs which will come up and which are already there. So I think that this is going to create a framework for how to support entrepreneurs in our region. I have in the audience the executive director of TIE. If anybody has any questions, Akhilesh, can you stand up for a minute? Yeah, you can reach out to him in terms of starting up and all. So TIE started last year. We have got 30 members who are volunteering to support another 65 upcoming startups. So there are 30 established leaders who are looking at supporting the another 60 and upcoming entrepreneurs. And the one line definition of TIE is fostering entrepreneurship. There is only role that TIE has, fostering entrepreneurship, where seasoned entrepreneurs help upcoming entrepreneurs. Okay, so this is being built now. The second part is like I said, it's about the satellite companies. Okay, so it's all about one local champion deciding that he wants to go back to the region, start something. Okay, and there will be plug and play infrastructure for them. Multiple companies are setting up plug and play infrastructure in Mangaluru now, which is fantastic. Okay, all we are saying is we are inviting our diaspora to take a call. Okay, come back here, come back to the region, start a small operation. Those in your audience, who want to tell your relatives or friends. Okay, so the environment is now improving in Mangaluru in terms of startup support or a small satellite setup port as well. So I think they should look at starting up, because multiple other companies have started, and there is an industry body out here which is willing to help them get up to speed very quickly. And lastly, the large companies. Okay, we always hear this specifically in our group. Why is TCS not coming and setting up 10,000 people operation? Wipro is not coming and setting up. So we get a lot of this conversation, but fundamentally, if the number of people who are working in IT companies in our region increases, these large companies will automatically come. So we will need to figure out initially how do we build a critical momentum and mass of people in this sector, and I am sure larger companies will come up in the due course. Okay, but I agree that 60% of our future employment will be generated by these large companies. Okay, our ultimate vision is how do is to expand, start from Mangaluru and go north, on this beautiful coastline, by creating high tea hubs and parks along the way. Okay, it's about making this region a hotbed of education, talent, tech startups, IT companies, and GCC R&D hubs. Okay, so we think we have the right ingredients for it. A solid talent pool, a great work-life balance environment, plus I think industry which is willing to help these companies. So the next part of this program is about nature. The first part I talked about how do you build a IT oriented infrastructure and everything here. So the next part of our Silicon Beach nature program is to build a great stress free and healthy green lifestyle. And when I am talking about stress free, it is the stress that comes from things you don't need to really stress about, which is traffic or pollution, or the daily things that people need to struggle for. I think those can be easily addressed in places like this. Okay, by giving them a green lifestyle. I'll just give an example. Green, this is what one of the companies, large companies which wants to come to region told us. Rohit, in Bangalore, my carbon consumption is also calculated based on the time that our employees to take from their house to my office, and right now it is 2 hours, so 2 hours each way. So that means my carbon generation is increasing by leaps and bounds, and they have got 80,000 people in Bangalore. Okay, and 80,000 people going through the traffic is a lot of carbon that is being generated. So they are saying, look, can we find a way out? And Mangaluru helps them improve that situation, because a lot of countries are imposing these kind of things on their company of their region, and I think this is a great place to build that. We have got sustainable practice. I think one of the things that locally we are trying to communicate with our builder ecosystem is to build as many green buildings as possible, because our overall vision is that we should try to have 90% of our infrastructure in Mangalore as green infrastructure. Okay, within our region, within country, we should be on the top when they try to measure what kind of what percentage of the infra is green. Right now Bangalore or Hyderabad is best in terms of 45% of their infra being green. We should be aiming for 90 to 95%, because we are starting literally from scratch. Okay, all we need to do is subscribe to these building norms, and we are already a green ecosystem. Again, like I said, green, building a green infra framework. It's about educating, implementing, and publicizing them. All the documentation is already there out there, for builders to build this kind of infra. And I think if we build this infra, this alone will be a big competitive advantage for for our region, Mangaluru. Okay, because 15-minute city, okay, green infra, okay, for a lot of large companies, that itself might be a strong reason to move to a region like Mangaluru, because they are, it helps them achieve their carbon footprint management. The last part of our program is about protecting our not just not even last. This is one thing, green is one. The last thing is we have to protect our natural ecosystem. We have got fantastic natural ecosystem. How do we make sure certain parts of it are left untouched, whereas we have growth, but we grow responsibly. The last part is actually about culture. Okay, it's about conserving culture through Silicon Beach program. Our region is blessed with a lot of unique it's a blessed with a unique culture and distinctive culture. Okay, and as a program, as IT, we need to figure out how do we patronize that, how do we make sure that there is continuity in that, and we celebrate that. Okay, so the culture is a very important part of it. I think a lot of people who are in this audience already know that KCCI has built a beautiful history museum out here, which talks about the culture, and we should not lose that cultural richness of this region just because growth is happening in our region. And this will also be one of the important things that Silicon Beach program will work towards. Okay, so let me come to the last part of it, which is the vision and the impact. What is the vision? We are speaking in abstract terms so far, but what are we really aiming for? Okay, so our we have got a few things. We have to measure that. Okay, are we doing the right thing? What are we really trying to achieve? Okay, so our number one mission goal is increase the technology job 10x from 20,000 to 200,000. This is our first thing. Okay. Second thing is number of startups. How do we increase it 20x? These are all our 10-year vision goals. Okay, we have got 200 plus startups now. How do we go to 4,000 plus startups? Madam, we'll come to you for this. Okay, all the time. Okay, and have at least 5 homegrown unicorn from our region. Okay, some of the work that's happening in our region is really amazing. Okay. I have seen that in first hand that these people are really thinking world class, and can we build 5 homegrown unicorn from our region? Okay, which will help our region increases GDP, regional GDP. Okay, right now our regional GDP is around $20 billion. Okay, the beautiful thing about IT is the auxiliary employment that IT generates. They say that one employee in an IT will generate 4 auxiliary employment. So if you are able to get to 200,000, we will be able to create employment opportunity for another 800,000. So 2 lakh employees will help support another 8 lakh plus employees in our region, which means talent stays where it belongs. It need not take flight year after year. Okay, and lastly, like I said, 95% IT building in the Silicon Beach will be green building adhering to carbon neutral standards. So this is broadly what our vision is, and we will keep tracking based on that. Okay, and lastly, I want to talk about a case study, right? Case study of MRPL versus IT industry. Okay, MRPL last year turnover, all this data is taken from their website. It's a public listed company. 1,24,000 crores. Local IT industry last year was 3,000. This is now gone higher. Okay, number of employees in MRPL is 2,500. Number of employees in IT is around 15,000. Women employees 226. in IT it is more than, close to half, one third of it is salary disbursed by MRPL is 698 crores, salary disbursed by IT industry is 1800 crores. Okay. So now if we extrapolate this to a larger number, okay, which is let us say local IT industry grows and in the next 10 year we achieve our vision, we will be probably be $5 billion in exports, which is 40,000 crores, 200,000 employees, 90,000 women employees, and the salary generated will be 24,000 crores every year. Okay. And why is this important? This is important because A, it generates auxiliary employment. Okay. It's also massive amount of money getting pumped into the local ecosystem year after year, because when you pay out salaries, their salaries will be will be consumed, at least a good part of it will be consumed locally, in terms of buying apartments or going to restaurants, okay, shopping in the local area and all those kind of things. So IT industry growth is a catalyst for a larger growth of the entire ecosystem. Okay. I think I'll just tell you, an impact on real estate. Okay. So at let us say in the next 2030 we will be at a particular level of growth. Okay. For us to hit our 2030 growth, we will need 50 IT buildings in our region. Okay. And we will need 400 apartment buildings in our region just to accommodate this. And I am not even talking about the auxiliary employment. Okay. And in 2033 at 40,000 crores of IT revenues, we will need 100 to 150 IT buildings and 1000 plus apartment buildings, okay, which is a lot of impact on just one sector. Okay. And you can take this impact onto every other sector like co-living, education institution, malls and entertainment, residences and villas, tourism, restaurant, golf course and clubs, healthcare, it's going to impact everything, because IT is always a well paying field. Okay. So that's why we are trying to say, okay, let's let us figure out and let us organize ourselves, okay, and under one umbrella and try to see how we can help grow this region, how help grow the IT in this region, which is what the Silicon program is about, where everybody works together. Okay. It is not just one or two people, it's not just the IT industry, it's going to impact the entire region. Okay. And the entire region needs to work together to help make this happen. Okay. These are some of the next steps that I was talking about. What can people do in this audience? Encourage the diaspora to come back and start satellite office. Easy things, these are easy things that we can do. Consider joining angel network and micro VCs in the region. I think our region is filled with HNIs. Whenever I check my WhatsApp DP of people here, somebody is in Turkey, somebody is in Europe, somebody in all over the place, and the people go on so much of vacation. So there is wealth, there is tremendous wealth in this region. Okay. Can we take 2 or 3% of that wealth and invest in our local startup ecosystem? Because okay, it's a high risk, high reward. If your investment becomes a unicorn tomorrow, you would have probably made, I don't know how many X returns, madam, right? 500x, 1000x, investment returns. Not everybody will survive, but the real hits will make a huge amount of money. Okay. That which they should look at these aspects. Okay. Consider signing up as a mentor for tech startup. Tech startups need a lot of mentorship. Those who have started in time, we get so much of request for support, saying that can you help me with this, can you help me with that. So I think it need not be TIE or it need not be just KCCI. There should be wider network mentorship that we should build in our local region, because a lot of business knowledge is very common across different sectors. And lastly, help build a character of the region by encouraging sports, festival and fairs that give character to the region. One example I will give. Last year we had a SUP, stand up paddling festival in Mangaluru. Okay. And they were trying to get international athletes, but they did not have the funds to organize it. Okay. So we had given them small amount, nothing big, but they were able to buy those boats, and because they were able to buy the boat, they were able to get 25 international athletes to Mangalore, and they are saying that that event helped them make Mangaluru as a future stand-up paddling destination, which will be a world recognized event. Okay, so small things sometimes help, deliver a very outsized return. So companies are doing it in Mangaluru, but we should see what are those few sports that will give us a great advantage for other region. Hyderabad can't have an SUP, Bombay is very difficult to have an SUP, Bangalore there is no water. Okay, so there are certain things that are very unique to Mangalore, and we need to figure out what makes Mangalore cool, so that we can try to use that as a regional branding initiative. Okay, how else? I don't know. Maybe there are other ideas in the audience, but together this is our goal. Okay, it's about transforming our region from a education hub to technology hub. Okay, instead of exporting talent, we should export value. Okay, so I will just give an example that I very easily relate to. India in probably 2 decades ago, we used to export a lot of iron ore. Okay, we would mine them and we would export iron ore to other countries, and then we would import steel. But I think a lot of this over exports have now stopped, because we are now exporting steel. Okay, much better value add. Okay, we should do similar things to our talent. We shouldn't be proud of just exporting talent. We should be making products here, building startups here, building growth here, and export value. Okay, helps the country, helps the region, helps preserve culture, helps nature, build everything. And I think that's what we should be aiming for, and our region has the potential to do it, because it's always been a very enterprising region. Okay, we started the banks. Even if you look now, all our transportation is driven by private entrepreneurs. We don't have so much of government transport in our region. We have proved this over and over again, that that we can do magic in this region. Okay, so this Silicon Beach program is about that. How do we rebuild that magic, be on the national map, be in the top 5 IT destination in the future, in the next 10 years, and show that great stuff can and will happen from Mangalore. That's what the goal of Silicon Beach program is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rohith Bhat sir. We have some time for the Q&A session. As you raise your hand, we would come to you with the mics. We have a couple of minutes for the Q&A. Anyone from the industry? Yes, we have two. Yeah, Uday, can you just come? For someone here, give the phone here. Yeah, someone.